everybody. Welcome to our Walk for a Million. The two teams taking part are, on my left, the Pinkies. Hey! And on my right, the Brownies. Let me first introduce the members of the two teams. First, Pinkies captain, famous football star, Mr. Felix Leung. His team are Chairwoman of the Society for Children, Mrs. S.L. Cheung. Famous pianist, Miss Judy Chan. Manager of TTC TV, Mr. Richard Hart. And popular TV artist, Mr. Joseph Wong. Now, on my right, Brownies captain, famous tennis player, Mr. Stuart Lee. His team are popular singer, Miss Sandra Fung. Famous ballet dancer, Miss Susan Haley. Manager of the Fortune Bank, Mr. T.S. Chu. And famous jockey, Mr. Peter Lamb. The winners of today's big walk will receive a big trophy. The losers will have to give $1 million to the Society for Children.
The route for today's Walk for a Million is on this map. Each walker has to complete 2 stages, except the last walkers. They have to complete 1. The starting point is the airport. The second point is Kowloon Station. And the third is the Space Museum. The fourth point is the Star Ferry. From there, the competitors cross the harbour by ferry to point number 5, the City Hall. The 6th point is the Arts Centre. And the 7th, the Hong Kong Stadium. The 8th is Repulse Bay. And the 9th is Ocean Park. The 10th and final point is the Peak.
We're now at the starting point of our Walk for a Million, the airport. The two teams are ready to start now.
Victory, 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 victory for the Pinkies!
Brownies, brownies, brownies! Brownies fight to win!
Joseph and Peter will start the walk. The starting gun will fire at any moment. There goes the gun. Both Joseph and Peter have made a very good start. Very soon, they'll be leaving the airport area. We'll now make our way to Kowloon Station. See you there.
We're now at point number 2, Kowloon Station. Joseph and Peter should be arriving any minute. Oh yes, I can see Joseph now. Oh, and Peter also. He's not far behind. Joseph and Peter are making their way now to point number 3, the Space Museum. We'll see you there.
We are now at point number 3, the Space Museum. I can see Joseph coming. Peter is not far behind. And here at point number 3, Mrs. Cheung and Sandra are ready to start. Sandra, do you think you can overtake the Pinky?
I hope so.
Here comes Joseph. And here comes Peter. Mrs. Cheung and Sandra are now walking to the Star Ferry, the 4th point. We'll see you there.
We're now reporting at point number 4, the Star Ferry. I can see Mrs. Chung and Sandra coming. Sandra's doing very well. She's just a few steps behind Mrs. Chung. They'll now cross the harbour and head for point number 5, the City Hall.
We're now at the 5th point, the City Hall. Mrs. Chung and Sandra should be arriving at any minute. The next competitor from the Pinkies is famous pianist Miss Judy Chan. Judy, do you think your team has a good chance of winning?
We'll try our best.
The next competitor for the Brownies is famous belly dancer Miss Susan Haley. Sandra and Mrs. Chung are coming. Sandra is now ahead of Mrs. Chung. Judy and Susan are now heading for point number 6, the Arts Centre.
This is the 6th point, the Arts Centre. We're now waiting for Judy and Susan. Oh, Judy and Susan are coming. Judy and Susan are now heading for point number 7, the Hong Kong Stadium. We'll see you there.
We're now at the 7th point, the Hong Kong Stadium. The next two competitors are Mr. Richard Hart and Mr. T.S. Chu. Richard, do you think your team can win?
I'm sure we can.
Oh, here come Judy and Susan. Come on. We'll see you at the next point, Repulse Bay.
This is point number 8, Repulse Bay. I can see Richard coming. He's doing very well. I can't see Mr. Chu yet. Oh, here comes Mr. Chu. He looks a bit tired, but is still trying very hard. Mr. Hart and Mr. Chu are now heading for point number 9, Ocean Park. We'll see you there.
This is the 9th point, Ocean Park. The last two competitors taking part today are Felix and Stuart. Felix, do you think your team has a good chance of winning?
Of course we have.
We win. Well, good luck to you both. Now I can see Mr. Chu coming. Get ready, Stuart. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, here comes Richard. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. We'll see whether Felix can catch up with Stuart in this very last part of our Walk for a Million. We'll see you later at the finishing point, the peak. This is the peak, the finishing point of our walk for Emilia. Felix and Stuart should be arriving at any minute. Yes, I can see them now. Felix is just a few steps ahead of Stuart. Let's see whether Stuart can overtake Felix. He's trying very hard. It's going to be a very narrow win for one of them. The winners of today's Walk for a Million are the Pinkies. Please look at these films and tell me the names of these places. The Hong Kong Stadium, the Star Ferry, the airport, Repulse Bay, the Arts Centre, the Peak, Kowloon Station, Ocean Park, the Space Museum, the City Hall,